Hi, this is Bob from the Two Old Guys Garage. Today is November 23rd, 2024, and this is an update to the Corvair Steering Box conversion on my 32 Ford Coupe. This would be part 5, segment 1. And here's the update. Let's get back over here to the bench. U-joints for steering boxes. This is an illustration of a double U-joint, and notice that when moved to the extreme angle, it's about 80 degrees. And you can see here, there's a single joint, it's about 80 degrees. This is the double joint that I bought and received, and that's as far as an angle would go, which measured to be about 20, 21, 22 degrees before the metals hit the metal in the stops. Now, most U-joints having the capability to go out to about 80 degrees or so are recommended not to exceed 35 degrees of operation. And in fact, I don't know if you can see it there, but oh yeah, here it is here. The large arrow is the maximum, about the 80 degrees. The 35 is the middle arrow, which is about the recommended max angle. And the 23 was the angle that was possible with this piece that I bought. In other words, excuse me, it wouldn't work, wouldn't fit. So I've since returned it. Hang on a second. Back. Sorry about that. Had to clear my throat. So what's happened? All right. This is actually the joint that I had already purchased, which was the Corvair 5/8 inch 36 spline and the double D 3/4 inch on this other side. In the meantime, I had ordered the other end of the, well, of course I ordered the double joint and it was no good. So in the meantime, deciding what to do about this problem, I borrowed a double D from Lou, which I had ordered but never came in. I've since canceled it. So what I've done is I've taken those two single joints and coupled them to the steering box and had Lou make me up a short piece of about 2 inches long of a double D shaft, and I've actually cut the firewall for clearance here, and I've actually got that double single joint, each single joint at each end connected in here with a short piece of double D, which allows me to run some tests. And hang on a second, got a little dark in here. Anyway, so what's happened is, if you look here, I can actually move the steering box and turn the wheels from one side to the other. And what I did was measured without the drag link connected that the maximum range of this Corvair steering box, 5 1/4 turns lock to lock, is this dark blue line from one end to the other. And then this pencil line on each side is when the steering wheels are, turned full left to full right as far as they'll go, which is less than the angle possible from the Corvair box, which is good. That means that I don't have to make a new drag link. So this one is going to work fine. This is the one half of the centerpiece. Now, what's happening is that raises the steering column higher than I would like inside the car. And as you can see here, it's up pretty high. The two single U-joints measure about 7 inches. A double joint is about a little over 5.5 inches or so. So I've ordered another double joint, one that's going to have, maximum 80 degrees, where I can put it at a 35. And that'll shorten the column protrusion by 2 inches. However, that's not going to be enough. Now, one of the options I could have, this is a 3.5-inch dish wheel. I can get a replacement wheel that's flat, non-dish, which will gain me 3.5 inches here, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough. And if that's the case, Lou and I are going to have to take the column and we're going to have to shorten the column to get the proper adjustment that I want. But that's not too bad. That's easily done. Lou's done it many times. We have the ability. So I'm waiting for the double joint. I think that's about it for now. Oh yeah, I measured, it's hard to do it. I measured the angles of the existing 2 single joints. The bottom joint's about 20 degrees, and the upper joint, which you can't see from here, is about 30 degrees. So the new properly made double joint reduced to 2 inches will increase the angle slightly, and I'm hoping that the upper angle does not get up to the 35 mark. I think it'll be about 32, but that could be wishful thinking. I'll find out when I get the joint. Hopefully it's coming here in a couple of days, and then I'll pick this up and see what happens then. Okay, that's about it for part 5, segment 1. I'll catch you all later. Hey, hello out there. It's Bob from the Tool Guys Garage. It is November 26, 2024. A little bit of catch-up. Closing in on the final end. I forgot to mention a while back that I took this aluminum piece here that I fabricated for the dash drop column and polished it up. Can't see it with the shadow, but that'll do. I also had a metal strap to reinforce this, a steel strap that was sticking out, and I trimmed that up so that it doesn't stick out. Okay, so the blue tape marks. This is where I want the steering column, the new one, to end up so that it tends to match how far away this point was from the dash, which is 10 3/8 plus 1/8 plus 1 1/8, because I don't have that bell shape anymore. I don't need it. So anyway, this is where it ends up. This is where it's at now, and it's connected with 2 single universal joints, which you can see here. And this is a single joint that's the Corvair 5/8 36 spline with a double D. The one next to it, the other single joint connected to the steering shaft, is a 3/4 inch double D. And in between, held down by these things here, is a 2-inch length of double D shaft. It kind of turned out that was going to be a temporary while I was waiting for a decent double shaft to come in. And the 2 joints being separate and bridged together with a 0 clearance between them is about 7 inches. The new part come in yesterday, the second one. The first one was totally out of spec. And when I put it on, it's only 5 5/8. That lowered the steering column. And in doing so, the angle was excessive and it wouldn't work right. So I'm in the process this morning of returning that for refund. And I went back to the so-called temporary thing, and it's no longer temporary. It's going to be the real deal. And as you can see, it's hooked up and it's functional. Yesterday I also double-checked that these marks were still true, centering the steering box, and then I went in and adjusted the free play at the center position of the box. And now, today, in a little bit, I'm going to disconnect the joints, pull the column out, and I'm going to head over to Lou's, and we're going to shorten the steering shaft and the column from there to there, which is about 4 inches, 4.5 inches. And while I'm over there, I'll get caught up on well, the progress that Lou has made on the Anglia. He's steadily working away pretty good, and I'll show you that in a little bit later on today. So that is that. Oh yeah, well then what happens is after I get the shaft shortened, the new column shaft, I come back here and I'll start dismantling all this, taking it apart, and doing the cleanup and painting, which will be hopefully the final assembly. Got to do things like lower the engine and connect it and so on and so forth. So that will be, oh yeah, this is part 5, segment 2 of the 32 upgrade to a Corvair steering box. And I think I'm about there. There's my return of the nice looking joint. And that'll conclude this. I think this will be the end of part 5. When I get it all painted and put together and maybe road tested, I'll catch up and hopefully finish off the project. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. Take care out there. Bye. All right, the external column, 4 inches, has been cut off. Cleaned up, bearing been pressed back in there. And then Lou is setting up to mill the internal shaft, which 4 inches has been cut off there, and this is going to be milled here to match that. So here's the finished product. This is 4 inches, 4 inches. This has been shortened. That's the way it's going to go in the car. That's my partner Lou and his machining capabilities. Okay, I'm headed back home. Bye. Same day. Okay. The shortened steering column and steering drive shaft have been installed, connected, tested. I thought it was best to do that before I took everything out and painted it up, make sure that everything was working. So it's in right now. It's all tied together the way it's supposed to be, and I even got the steering wheel back on, and the tack, and the directional signal, because all I got to do is to take the coupling off. The U-joint coupling is loosen these bolts and raise the shaft about an inch or two, and then I got room to take the coupling off. So that's it. I'll put this on film the next time. Should be perhaps a lot more pretty to look at. Take care out there. This is the end of part 5, segment 2.